To check out the entire show, hit the link at the bottom of the screen, available exclusively on odds.com. The final game on tonight's show and our wild card schedule, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Browns 11-5, 5-3 on the road at the Steelers, 12-4, 7-1 at home. Heinz Field, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 30 Fahrenheit on Sunday night, mostly cloudy, 4 miles per hour. This is the kind of game that you would love to have a weekend show to break it down, because COVID has really taken a shot here at this game and put us in a tough situation. And it's sad for the Browns fans who've waited so desperately and waited so long to get into this situation. And now Newkirk says Browns have placed 17 players on their COVID reserve list over the last 2 weeks. 10 of those players still remain on the list, including Joe Bitonio and Kadero Hodge, who were added today. Yes, I did spend some time trying to figure out what exactly was going on. Let's look at the books first. I got Bet365 up. They have the Steelers are 6-point favorites in this total at 47.5. Let's start. Slat says Browns barely beat Steelers subs and their coaches out. Got Steelers at -4, best bet. Now up to -6. Newkirk says no bet until Sunday for me. David Sharp says no coach is a big deal. Dan Kelly says Olivier Vernon out. Pittsburgh team total over. Let's start with the Browns. So positive COVID-19 tests have knocked out Stefanski, Pro Bowl guard Joe Bitonio, wide receiver Kadero Hodge, and 2 assistant coaches. Stefanski will be replaced by special teams coordinator Mike Pfeiffer. The Browns will have to make other adjustments. So tight ends coach Drew Petzing and defensive back coach Jeff Howard are also out. Pfeiffer is from Cleveland. He spent several years on Minnesota staff with Stefanski, and he was the interim coach for one game in 2016 when Mike Zimmer had eye surgery. With Stefanski out, coordinator Alex Van Pelt will assume play calling duties. So they have 8 rotational players and 5 coaches on the COVID-19 list, and I guess that's been added to 10, is what Newkirk was saying. And then we come off this must-win game where they squeaked past the Steelers team playing backups. Now, COVID had completely disrupted their preparations and their schedule. So they were without 6 players last week, including star cornerback Denzel Ward. Myles Garrett who missed 2 games after contracting COVID-19. He's had a difficult time shaking it up. He says he's still undergoing breathing treatments. So the secondary didn't have Denzel Ward, didn't have part-time starter Kevin Johnson, didn't have starting safety Andrew Sendejo. They all tested positive. And Mason Rudolph threw for 315 yards. We don't know if Ward can go or will be able to go. Rookie linebacker Jacob Phillips did a nice job. He was filling in for B.J. Goodson. Goodson's now missed 2 straight weeks with coronavirus. So that's the bad news. And then Olivier Vernon rupturing an Achilles tendon after 9 sacks. Heartbreaking. Donovan Peoples-Jones, who is very dangerous as a punt returner, he's in concussion protocol. The Browns have lost 17 straight at Heinz Field. They haven't won there since 2003. Mayfield completed 62.8% of his passes for 3,563 yards, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He was good this year. Nick Chubb ran for 1,067 yards, 12 touchdowns. He was great. This year, Kareem Hunt ran for 841 yards, 6 touchdowns, and kicked 0 women in the face. Jarvis Landry caught 72 passes for 840 yards, 3 touchdowns. No one else caught more than the 46 that tight end Austin Hooper's caught. Scott Carter says Browns cover. Bebsie, what do you do with this mess that's the Cleveland Browns?
Well, I would just like to point out that on the Sunday show, I did say, because they had done all those tests early in the morning, I did say those will turn to positives at night, and they did. And I don't know how you can back the Browns here at all. Their coach, who's been so important to them in helping them, turn this franchise around this year, has been ruled out. This Browns team, who had more players on Sunday than they will next week, facing a Steelers team that will have starters back, barely beat the the backups for the Steelers, I think this goes right back to the way it's been for years with the Steelers beating up on the Browns. The Steelers know how to be in the playoffs. The Browns do not. This is just Steelers smash. And Mateo, this is like the 7th time you've wrote, seriously, y'all think that this fake virus is real? What are you talking about? You think this is the most incredibly pulled off, elaborate hoax of all time? You think 192 countries around the world are all in on this? You think players are teams are just dropping their players as a hoax? Like, are you joking? Because if it's you've tried it like 7 times and it's a shitty joke. You think it's 100% fake?
We don't need to get into this that debate here. We don't need to get into that debate here. But if it is fake, they pulled a good one on us.
Unbelievable hoax job then.
So let's talk about these Steelers here before we decide to bet them heavily. So the question of whether the Steelers can withstand season-ending injuries to Devin Bush, Bud Dupree, and Robert Spillane still exists. They've lost 4 or 5. They have their backup unit barely lost to the Browns. Roethlisberger, T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward stayed home and relaxed and are fresh. Pittsburgh's offense only scored 3 touchdowns once over the final 6 games. The league's 3rd-ranked defense allowed 318 yards or more in 4 of the team's last 5 games. Pittsburgh wants to win a playoff game for the first time in 4 years. And how do they not do it? Roethlisberger completed 65.6% of his passes for 3,803 yards, 33 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Deontay Johnson caught 88 passes for 923 yards and 7 touchdowns. Chase Claypool, 62 catches for 873 yards, 9 touchdowns. Juju Smith-Schuster, 97 receptions for 831 yards, 9 touchdowns. So we talked about them losing Bush, Dupree, and Spillane. The other red flag, no NFL team rushed for fewer yards than the Steelers. James Conner ran for 721 yards, 6 touchdowns. His numbers were actually a little better than I thought they were going to be for whatever reason. Cornerback Joe Hayden, tight end Eric Ebron were both placed on reserve COVID list on Saturday. It's unclear whether they'll be available. Chris Boswell missed 3 of the last 5 games because of injury. So, first half, full game. How do you want to attack this, Bebsie?
I've had trouble every double up I've put on the Steelers this year. So I'm not going to double up, but I don't know how you can't take Pittsburgh here. I really don't. Somebody pointed out, who was it? Scott Carter, it's the NFL. Why is the line under 7? That's the only thing that scares me. It's a good point. I don't know why it stayed so low, especially with – I thought as soon as Stefanski was ruled out, it would shoot up. I was surprised it was that close, knowing that the no, sorry, I'm just laughing at Birdie's comment. But just knowing that like they barely beat this backups, the Steelers backups in a must-win matchup. I feel like the Steelers roll in this one. I really do. I just think they punish a team they've kicked around. The Browns aren't ready to be a playoff team yet. Myles Garrett is, with what you just said about Myles Garrett, he's clearly not at 100% then if he's still taking oxygen. It's I just think this is Pittsburgh. It's got to be Pittsburgh here. I wish I got the -4. I'm still okay with the -6. The one thing that worries me is why is this so low?
And the first half is 3.5. So, okay, before we put a bow on this show, what do you think about the total? What do you think about this total? It is sitting. Oh, sorry, that's not it. Sorry, it is sitting right now at 47.5. It's gone up a half point.
I mean, I just wonder. I wonder who's playing and who's not before I want to bet this total. But I still, it's weird. I feel bullish on the spread, but the total I think changes if depending on who's in, who's out. I will definitely still be looking at rush props and another possible double up on the Browns running backs because I don't know. I still think they can run the ball, but yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna wait and see who's playing before I bet that. If I had a lean right now, it'd probably be to the under.
Browns team totals at 20.5, heavily juiced to the under.
Yeah, this is a really tough spot for the Browns.
So tough. How do they get over that 20.5 points without their coaching staff set up?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just Stefanski. It's two of the assistant coaches are out as well.
Okay. Very public play here, but I don't see how the Browns handle this.
I really don't either, and who knows if this gets even worse. Like, if they have more cases by Sunday, then who's on the field for them?
Absolutely.
And yeah, Birdie's making a good point. Practice matters. A lot of these guys have been able to practice. This is going to be a relatively healthy, rested and practiced Steelers squad.
Okay, I'm gonna make some moves here. Again, I know this is so public, but I'm gonna go ahead and move on the Steelers first half and full game, and the Browns team total under. And there's no first half team total under that I could bet, but I'm very curious to attack that. So,
do you think it's more wise to attack the first half? Or
I thought so, yes, because but it's not available for me yet. But yes, I really did. I thought that
Oh, I agree, Newkirker. I think the NFL will make this game happen regardless.
Yeah. And if you like the Browns, wait. O+ saying, and he's absolutely right. And Aaron Gaze is saying you can't take Steelers if it goes up more than a touchdown. Okay, so Bebsie, I'm going to move on first half full game and Browns team total under. I don't see how they can. It sucks. I would be happy if this doesn't go through and they push it. Dan Kelly says I could see a shootout. I was very curious to see what you thought of all this, Dan. Bebsie, are you going to make an official move here before we put a bow on this?
Yes, I'm absolutely going to take full game Steelers -6.
Well, let's see if I can get you anything better than that here. We're going to line shop at odds.com of the licensed books. I didn't pull up Circa, but I should have. Let's go full game and see if we can get you anything better than that 6 here. And we can't. The best is -6 at -110. Let's see if Circa. I think they're all those are gone, but we'll just check Circa very quickly here. Circa Sports and okay. Here we go. See if they can give us anything better here. And they can't. Okay. So -6 at -110 available at Circa Sports for Bebsie. That's his only move. Okay, Bebsie.
Ooh, Nate Dogg. Oh, that you're talking first half, Nate Dogg? Yeah. I thought you got them at full game somehow.
Bebsie Steelers -6, -110 at Circa. All right. My best bet on Wildcard Week is Baltimore Ravens -3. 4,633 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions.